I yield and to the ranking member, Mr. Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to comment about this empty chair theater regarding the Bureau of Reclamation that's sort of been playing out as part of the hearing. It is true that the Bureau of Reclamation, which has no authority or jurisdiction involving the Clean Water Act, which was the stated purpose of this hearing, is not here. Neither is the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security, NASA, or the Veterans Administration. They're not here either. And all of those agencies have about as much relevance to the subject of the Clean Water Act as any of the others. The Bureau never agreed to be here. The Bureau is not required to be here, and the absence of the Bureau, frankly, in no way detracts from whatever legitimacy this hearing might have, which is not much. I did want to speak, though, to the comments from my colleague, Mr. McClintock, in apparently correcting me about state preemption in the Valadeo bill. Fortunately, he and others don't have to take my word for it. The state of California itself took a position that the bill would have been preemptive, including the state attorney general, whose job it is to defend California water law. So I'm happy to correct the correction on that point. And Ms. Weldon, I would just, turning to you, thank you for doing what the record clearly shows you did. You listened. You had a deliberative, inclusive process that had outreach, and you took comments, concerns, and you're now moving forward in a very collaborative, thoughtful way. I don't think you're going to get a lot of thank you notes from the majority in this committee for being inclusive and thoughtful. Around here, no good deed goes unpunished, but I think it's obvious that the Forest Service is listening and trying to get this right, and there's really nothing more that we can ask of you than that. Now, if we were to have an oversight hearing involving the Forest Service and water on a subject that is of relevance, that's ripe and important right now, it might involve the fact that in California, where we're experiencing a critical drought, heading into the fourth year of a drought, the Forest Service has allowed Nestle Waters of North America to continue using a pipeline to transport spring water out of the San Bernardino National Forest on a permit that expired almost 3 decades ago. It has not conducted any scientific assessment of Nestle's use of the water from those springs, how it could be impacting wildlife and groundwater. And so we might very well, if we were interested in problems involving the Forest Service and water management that are relevant, be asking whether the Forest Service is doing enough to protect California's scarce water resources from a company like Nestle operating without a permit right now in this critical drought environment. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak to that if you'd like. It's certainly a subject I'd like to take up with you separately, but while we had you here, I thought I would at least raise the question.
And thank you for your question. We would be happy to meet with you to go into detail about our approach forward with the special use permit for Nestle for their accessing water. I will share that the California region and the San Bernardino National Forest have seen the need now and are actively pursuing their next steps as far as evaluating this permit, looking to what's going to be necessary to evaluate the current work that's happening with accessing water, and we'll be happy to share with you the next steps out of that as it relates to resolving this permit that's gone so long without being renewed.
All right, I appreciate that. Thanks for your testimony. I yield back.
Before I recognize the next gentleman, I want to clarify for our committee, this committee does have jurisdiction over the Department of Reclamation, and the issues are relevant to them, and we did ask them. We don't have jurisdiction over DOD. They don't have relevance to this, and we didn't ask them to come. So I want to be sure everybody understands it. With that, I'll recognize Dr. Gozar.